This is a square. Can you guess which spot that goes in?
The square.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
Yes. Okay.
And how about this rectangle? That one
Also the square.
that goes in there too.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got this thin rectangle.
The thin
Can
rectangle.
you guess where that goes?
The thin rectangle.
That's right. It goes in the square hole. And up next, a cylinder.
The circle.
I think that goes in
The circle.
the square hole. Now, we've also got this semicircle right here. Do you see a slot that would fit
The semicircle.
semicircle?
The semicircle.
That's right. It's the square hole.
I have never been more upset by a video in my entire life! Have you ever been sitting in chemistry class and thought to yourself, man, I am so tired and bored. Why does the shape of a molecule even matter? These are steroids. No, not the kind that baseball players are infamous for. These steroids help communicate and regulate your bodily functions, and most of them look the same. If you look at the differences between an estrogen variant and testosterone, they're very similar aside from a few double bonds and a few functional groups. But yet, these molecules have very different roles. Testosterone contributes to muscle mass, red blood cell production, and sperm production, and a whole lot more. And estrogen helps regulate the female reproductive system and contributes to general bone health. In chemistry, we have the phrase, form determines function. So if you have a molecule with a weird arm coming off of it, that arm probably has a function. If you have a species with a horn on its head, that horn has a function. And if you have a y-graph that approaches infinity on the y-axis, you have an exponential function. This is the most miraculous liquid known to mankind. And on average, humans consume 400 billion cups of coffee every year. And this is a picture of me as a baby. My parents gave me my first cup of coffee at the age of 1. And ever since then, it's been proteins, lipids, DNA, calcium, prokaryotes, mitochondria, parasites, so woo! Your body evaluates and communicates your energy levels to you based on the concentration of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, that's in your bloodstream. And ATP is made of 3 parts, adenine, ribose, and 3 separate phosphate molecules. And your body has access to energy by breaking off one of the phosphates and using the energy that's released when the bond breaks. Once all 3 of the phosphates are cleaved, we're left with this structure, which is just known as adenosine. And the shape of adenosine is really important because it's similar to caffeine. Remember, form determines function. The reason you get really tired is once your body has used all of the energy from the phosphates of ATP, the adenosine then binds to receptors on your neurons and fits into
Goes in the square hole.
and
Yes.
causes them to fire slower, which makes you drowsy. And caffeine is like that evil round shape. It's similar to adenosine, but it isn't the most perfect fit. So when you drink coffee, the caffeine fits into,
Goes in the square hole.
but doesn't actually slow down the neuron receptor. Because caffeine's now in the receptor, adenosine can't tell your body that you're tired. And all it does is leave your body to just sing Katy Perry on repeat.
I'm wide awake.
What's interesting is your body starts to learn about what caffeine is doing. And so it starts to create more and more adenosine receptors so that the adenosine can bind on somewhere. And this is where addiction to caffeine starts to happen. In order to prevent yourself from getting tired, you need to drink more and more and more caffeine to fill the new receptors that have been made. And the only way to reverse this cycle is to stop drinking coffee for a few days and let your body delete the added receptors. The miserable part about this process is the headaches, the nausea, and the general existence without coffee for those few days. Though, the lack of really gross coffee poos 6 times a day is an absolute delight.